Michelle, it's just about 8:44 as I say hello to two friends. Karen Unland with the Edmonton Journal, and we're talking capital ideas. And of course, you're partnered up with ATB Executive VP Wellington Holbrook and your team. Welcome to BT as well.
Thank you.
You have a big event coming up on October 16th. We're talking succession. And before we get into that, Karen, for those that aren't familiar with the Journal's Capital Ideas project or the concept in general, can you bring us up to speed?
Sure. So Capital Ideas is a community of business owners helping business owners by sharing what they know. So our idea is that everybody who's in business knows something, wants to know more stuff, and if we can unlock that expertise and share it more widely, then everybody's boats raise. So one of the ways that we do that is we have a live event over at the Edmonton Journal the third Wednesday of every month, and that's why October 16th is our next one, and we just have people come listen to three entrepreneurs talk about their real lived experience about a real business challenge, and people learn from that.
I love this. It's free. Registration's capped at $150, so you got to get your name in the mix. But Wellington, I know that your team at ATB has been proud to support this. You've signed on for a full year. Why start with the topic of succession in the context of business?
I think that's a great question, but we live in a province that's very dependent on entrepreneurship. And our research suggests that 35% of entrepreneurs are planning to exit their business in the next 5 years, yet half of them haven't figured out how to do that. If they do not figure that out, I think that leads to bigger problems for our province. So we thought this is a great topic to start talking about, have entrepreneurs share their ideas as to how we're going to make that happen.
Okay, so we could be talking about everything from a mom and pop type business all the way up to a corporation with decades of history. For most people, you'd think that it would maybe quite obvious that you'd need to have a plan in place, but time and time again, you see that that's not the case?
Absolutely. I can tell you from personal experience, my own mother had a business for over 30 years and did not really have a strong plan, ended up just winding up the business as opposed to selling it. So you saw a business completely disappear. I think it's a really scary idea that you could see businesses popping up all over our province who are just going away. So this has got to be talked about.
Karen, when it comes to the topics, I would imagine that, of course, you're probably talking to your partners at ATB, and you're probably at the same time, I would imagine, looking at some of the feedback you're receiving or looking at some of the storylines that just write themselves in the city when it comes to business.
Absolutely. So it's really when you pay attention to what's going on in the entrepreneurial community, there's just a lot of topics that rise up and are obvious that people are all talking about. And the thing that we like to do at Capital Ideas is kind of create these collisions of different worlds over common challenges. So you will find that guys that have startups that are 1 or 2 years old have some of the same challenges that guys who have been in business for 25 years. And if they can help each other, then it helps. Succession planning, you might think, would be just an old guy problem, but it's actually not, because it's one of those things you keep putting off, like your will, right? You think, oh, I should do that, but you don't do it, and then you come to the point.
Then it's too late.
Then it's too late, and then what do you do? So, and the other thing about succession planning is you're actually planning to have a successful business, because nobody's going to buy a business that's not profitable.
Well, and you see the face of business changing, the value of business changing. Some businesses essentially carry no value when the proprietor leaves, but that proprietor may have, for the last 30 or 40 years, been counting on value residual when they're leaving.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, listen, we're very intrigued by this, and we're going to look forward to some of the other topics that you're going to tackle here, but succession certainly seems to be a great place to start. It's Wednesday, October 16th at noon at the Edmonton Journal. You can register now. Just check out Capital Ideas Edmonton or the link under the Inside BT link on our breakfasttelevision.ca website. Karen, Wellington, great to see you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more after this. It's 8:47. Bridget Ryan standing by. The whole team still with 12 minutes of pure gold left to come here on BT.